Have you ever looked at something ordinary, an empty sardine can, a rusty drum, or a broken piece of bamboo, and wondered what else it could be? What if those forgotten things could turn your tiny garden into a place of beauty and life? Today, you're about to see ideas that will change the way you see trash forever. Welcome to Simply DIY, the home of creative recycling and upcycling inspiration. In this video, we'll explore unbelievable DIY upcycling ideas using sardine cans, drums, and bamboo to transform small gardens and tiny backyards. These images and ideas are purely here to inspire you. If you find something you love, take it, shape it, and make it your own with what you already have around you. Maybe to you, I'm just another face on a screen. But behind this content, there's a real story and a real family. This isn't just a video, it's a piece of my heart. Every like, every comment, every subscribe, it truly matters. When you hit that button, you're not just helping a creator grow, you're helping a dream stay alive. You're giving a small family hope, one click at a time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for seeing me. In a quiet little backyard, sunlight gently touches a row of colorful sardine cans hanging neatly on a wooden fence. What was once trash has now become a living wall of freshness. The air feels different here, calm, fragrant, and full of life. Each can, painted in soft pastel tones, holds a humble secret of renewal. Basil, parsley, mint, and rosemary, their green leaves dancing lightly in the morning breeze. This isn't just a decoration. It's a quiet act of creativity, a reminder that beauty doesn't always come from what's new, but from what we choose to give a second life to. Sardine cans, often thrown away after a single use, become vessels of growth, small homes for herbs that flavor both your meals and your days. You can start easily. Wash the cans, paint them with colors that bring you joy, and drill tiny holes for drainage. Then fill them with rich soil, plant your favorite herbs, and hang them on a bamboo frame or a garden fence. With time, you'll notice how these little planters change your space. Birds may visit, bees may hum nearby, and even your quiet moments will feel softer. Every leaf that grows is proof that nothing truly loses its worth, not even a used can. When the morning sun hits your vertical herb wall, you'll feel a quiet pride, knowing that your hands gave new meaning to something the world had already forgotten. And perhaps, as you water your plants, you'll realize, sometimes the smallest ideas can bring the deepest peace. There's something deeply satisfying about washing freshly picked vegetables right where they were grown. In this small backyard, a simple metal drum, once forgotten in the corner, now stands proudly as a handmade washing sink. Its surface glimmers with droplets of morning dew, while the sound of running water blends softly with the hum of the garden. Lettuce, tomatoes, and kale wait patiently in a basket beside it, each leaf still carrying the cool scent of soil and sun. Creating your own drum sink is easier than it looks. A clean, recycled barrel, a small faucet, and a bit of creativity, that's all it takes. Cut the top open neatly, attach a drainage pipe that leads to a bed of pebbles or grass, and you'll have a fully functional washing station right in your backyard. It doesn't just save time, it keeps the dirt where it belongs, in the garden, not your kitchen. What makes this little corner special isn't just its practicality, but its charm. The drum, once dull and rusted, now bursts with color and purpose. You can paint it to match your garden, add a bamboo frame for shade, or build a small wooden platform for your baskets. Every small touch makes it more personal, more alive. Here, the act of washing vegetables becomes more than a chore, it's a moment of peace. As the water flows over your hands, it feels as though the garden itself thanks you for giving back. The drum whispers a quiet truth. Beauty is not about perfection, but about renewal. When you build with your hands and heart, even an old metal drum can become the soul of your backyard. Listen closely, and you'll hear it, the soft murmur of water slipping through bamboo, a song that has echoed through villages for generations. In this small garden, that ancient rhythm finds new life. A simple bamboo pipe carries clear water from a nearby pond, weaving gently along the garden borders, touching each plant like a blessing. Lettuce glistens, basil sways, and the soil darkens with gratitude. This isn't just a clever piece of upcycling. It's a quiet return to nature's logic. Bamboo, strong yet kind, becomes the perfect companion for water. It guides, never forces. It bends, never breaks. You don't need machines or pumps, only gravity, patience, and the joy of seeing your garden drink from the stream you built with your own hands. If you wish to try it, choose thick, healthy bamboo. Cut it at a slant, hollow it out carefully, and let each piece overlap slightly to guide the flow. Tie the joints with rope or twine. You'll be amazed how effortlessly the water listens, how it finds its way through every corner of your small paradise. Soon, you'll notice something changing. The sound of trickling water softens the air. The garden feels more alive, more connected. Even your thoughts slow down as you stand there, watching nature do what it does best: nurture. In moments like these, you realize that beauty doesn't come from invention alone, but from understanding the quiet wisdom already waiting in the world around us. There's a certain joy that comes from turning something ordinary into something unexpectedly beautiful. Imagine stepping into your garden and seeing a row of bright, blooming flowers rising not from expensive pots, but from old sardine cans, their surfaces brushed with cheerful colors, each one catching the morning light. Along the fence, they line up like a chorus of little miracles, each can holding life, color, and story. The beauty of this idea lies in its simplicity. A can that once held a quick meal now holds a small piece of the earth. You only need to clean it, paint it, and punch a few holes for water to escape. Fill it with soil, plant your favorite flowers, and place them neatly along the garden border or fence. Over time, those small touches, a bit of red, some yellow, a dash of lavender, transform the entire space. You can even match your flowers to the season: petunias for summer, marigolds for autumn, or pansies for spring. The contrast of metal and nature gives a rustic charm that feels both humble and refreshing. And when the wind passes through, the soft rattle of tin and petals feels almost like the garden is whispering thanks. This project isn't just about recycling. It's about discovering the beauty in imperfection, about giving color and purpose to what others throw away. In these tiny cans, you'll find proof that creativity doesn't always need big tools or big spaces. Only an open heart, a splash of paint, and the patience to let life bloom again. In the corner of a small backyard, where sunlight rests softly on painted metal, old drums find new purpose. Once dull and forgotten, they now bloom with color and life. Vivid greens of lettuce, the deep red of ripe tomatoes, the gentle sway of chilly leaves in the wind. It's as if every brush of paint and handful of soil has rewritten their story, from discarded waste to a garden of abundance. Turning a drum into a planter is a simple act of transformation. Cut it cleanly, paint it with colors that lift your mood, perhaps teal for calmness, yellow for energy, or deep green for harmony. Drill small holes underneath to let the soil breathe, then fill it with a mix of compost and garden soil. Over time, you'll see roots weaving through that metal space, reminding you that even steel can cradle life when given the chance. What makes this idea beautiful isn't just how practical it is, but how joyful it looks. Against a bamboo fence or a wooden wall, these planters shine like little artworks, proof that function and beauty can share the same ground. The bright vegetables spilling over their rims invite not just nourishment, but wonder. And when you walk through your backyard, watering each drum one by one, you'll feel something subtle yet powerful, a connection. A rhythm between your hands, the soil, and the breath of the morning. Here, in these repurposed drums, the garden speaks, reminding you that growth doesn't always start with perfection, but with imagination and care. There's a kind of magic in the sound of gentle water, the way it calms your breath, the way it softens the edges of your thoughts. Here, beside a small patio bathed in afternoon light, a simple bamboo fountain becomes the heart of the garden. Water trickles from one hollow stem to another, falling gracefully into a stone bowl. The rhythm is slow, soothing, and endlessly peaceful. It feels alive, yet humble, a whisper from nature itself. Building a fountain like this doesn't demand much. Just a few lengths of bamboo, a small pump or natural water flow, and the patience to shape it by hand. Cut the bamboo at angles, allow the water to glide smoothly, and let gravity do the rest. Add a few smooth pebbles around the basin, maybe some ferns or moss, and soon you'll have a living sculpture that moves with every drop. This small creation brings more than beauty. It invites serenity. When you sit nearby with a cup of tea, you'll notice how the world slows down, how the simple sound of dripping water feels like a melody that belongs only to you. Even in the tiniest of patios, this bamboo fountain transforms space into something sacred. It reminds us that peace doesn't need grandeur. Sometimes, it's built from the humblest materials, from bamboo, water, and the quiet hands that believe simplicity is enough. As daylight fades and the garden begins to rest, a new kind of beauty awakens, the quiet glow of handmade lanterns swinging gently along the fence. What were once sardine cans now shimmer with tiny stars of light, their surfaces painted in soft colors, their holes cut into patterns that let the warm glow dance freely across the wood. It's a scene both humble and magical, one that turns an ordinary evening into something softly unforgettable. Creating these lights is easier than it looks. All you need are empty cans, a simple drill, a string of warm LEDs, and a bit of patience. Punch small holes in creative designs, flowers, leaves, or spirals, and paint each can with colors that suit your garden soul. When you hang them with twine or wire, you'll see how the light escapes through those holes like whispers of fireflies, giving life to the night without overpowering it. These lights do more than decorate, they change how a garden feels. They invite you to linger longer after sunset, to breathe slower, to listen to the soft hum of evening life. Even a small backyard or fence can glow like a fairy tale corner when touched by a little imagination. And perhaps that's the true charm of it, how something as ordinary as a sardine can, touched by your hands and a spark of creativity, can bring warmth to a space, and peace to a heart that simply stops to watch it glow. In the soft shade of a backyard tree, a humble metal drum sits transformed, not as waste, not as scrap, but as a quiet companion to daily life. Once used to store oil or water, it now holds something far more personal. The tools of a gardener's hands, the simple comfort of a seat after a long day tending the soil. Its lid, made from warm polished wood, opens to reveal small treasures, a trowel, a coil of rope, seed packets waiting for their season. This is the beauty of upcycling, the way it turns forgotten things into stories of use and renewal. With a bit of sanding, a coat of paint, and a wooden board cut to size, you can craft a drum bench of your own. It's practical, yes, strong enough to sit on, spacious enough to store tools or even small pots, but it's also quietly poetic. It stands there, between the grass and sunlight, reminding you that every object deserves a second chance. Add a cushion if you like softness, or paint patterns that echo the colors of your garden. Some people use bright blues and yellows, others keep the natural metal tone. Both are beautiful. What matters is that it feels like yours. And when you sit on that bench at the end of the day, soil still on your hands, you'll feel it. The calm pride of someone who builds, restores, and gives meaning back to what the world once overlooked. That's the heart of DIY. Not perfection, but the gentle art of creating usefulness with care. In the quiet rhythm of a small backyard, life unfolds gently inside a handmade bamboo frame. A miniature raised bed stands there, simple, beautiful, alive. From its dark soil, fresh leaves of spinach, lettuce, and kale reach upward, their color a tender green that only early morning light can reveal. There's something almost sacred about it, the way each plant grows strong within boundaries shaped by human hands and humble bamboo. Building one like this isn't complicated. All you need are a few sturdy bamboo poles, some twine or rope, and fertile soil. Cut the bamboo evenly, tie the corners together, and let the natural texture do the rest. Unlike plastic or concrete, bamboo breathes with the earth. It keeps the soil cool, the edges soft, and the garden naturally grounded. This small raised bed is perfect for tiny yards or narrow patios where space is precious. It teaches you that abundance doesn't depend on size, but on care. When you water it each morning, or bend down to pick a leaf for dinner, you'll feel that calm satisfaction of nurturing life directly from your hands. The beauty of a bamboo garden bed isn't only in its look, but in the feeling it gives. It's the sound of water touching leaves, the smell of soil after rain, the rhythm of something growing slowly and quietly under your watch. With just a little effort, you'll find that even the smallest patch of ground can feed both your body and your peace. Sometimes the most meaningful inventions begin in the simplest corners of a backyard. Here, an old metal drum stands quietly, transformed into a source of life. What was once waste now filters rainwater into something pure and clear, ready to nurture the earth again. You can almost hear the slow rhythm of water dripping through layers of sand, gravel, and charcoal, each one doing its part to cleanse what nature provides. Making one like this doesn't demand perfection, only intention. Start with a used drum, clean it well, and fill it in layers. Larger stones at the bottom, then smaller gravel, sand, and finally charcoal on top. As rainwater passes through, it finds its way down, emerging soft and clean, ready for your garden beds or watering cans. It's an old idea, but one that feels timeless, giving purpose back to what others might throw away. Beyond practicality, this project carries a quiet lesson. It reminds us that sustainability begins not with grand gestures, but with small, thoughtful acts. A simple water filter like this not only saves resources, it teaches respect for water, for the soil, for every drop that keeps life green. When you stand beside it, hearing that steady trickle, it's easy to feel connected to something greater. The filtered water flowing into your hands isn't just clean, it's symbolic. A reminder that renewal is always possible, as long as we choose to create rather than discard, to care rather than consume. At sunrise, when the world is still soft and golden, the garden begins to hum with tiny wings. Along the fence, a row of old sardine cans, brightly painted and filled with seeds, has become a little restaurant for birds. They come in flocks, sparrows and finches, each chirping as if saying thank you for breakfast. What once was trash now sings with life, turning the quiet corners of the backyard into something alive and welcoming. Creating these feeders is as simple as it is meaningful. Clean your sardine cans well, smooth the edges, and paint them with colors that make you smile. Attach a bamboo stick or small branch below as a perch, then fill them with birdseed or crushed grains. Hang them with twine or wire along your fence, near flowers or trees, and soon enough, the air will fill with movement and song. There's a quiet reward in watching them come, the way one small act of care can bring joy to something wild. The cans shine softly under sunlight, the birds flutter in rhythm, and the garden feels more alive than ever before. This project isn't only about feeding birds, it's about sharing space. It reminds us that even in our smallest gardens, we can make room for other lives. And maybe, as you stand there one morning with a cup of tea, listening to the soft rustle of wings, you'll realize that beauty doesn't always bloom from what we plant. Sometimes, it simply flies in when we choose to give. In the calm corner of a small patio, sunlight meets bamboo in the most peaceful way. Simple poles stand like quiet guardians, their golden tones catching the afternoon light. Beside them, a pair of old drums rest, once noisy and industrial, now reborn with soft colors and flowering life. The air feels lighter here, as if time itself slows down just to watch how nature and craft coexist so gracefully. What makes this kind of corner special isn't just the beauty you see, but the story it tells. Each element, the bamboo, the reused drum, the humble rope, speaks of intention. Nothing is wasted, nothing is too small to begin again. You can create your own space like this easily. Use bamboo as structure, as a divider, or even as a simple accent. Repaint old drums with colors that reflect the seasons. Soft pastels for spring, deep terracotta for summer, or muted grays for winter calm. The charm of this design lies in balance. The roughness of metal meets the smooth calm of bamboo. The brightness of flowers softens the sturdy lines of the drums. Add a chair, maybe a small wooden table, and suddenly your patio becomes a personal retreat, a place where nature meets handmade simplicity. When evening comes and the last rays of sunlight fade across the bamboo, you'll notice how still everything feels. This isn't just decor, it's a way of slowing down, of learning from the quiet elegance that only natural materials can offer. Sometimes, peace doesn't come from adding more, but from transforming what's already there. In a world that moves too fast, there's something grounding about standing before a bamboo fence, tall, golden, and breathing with life. Between its vertical lines, little bursts of green peek out from built-in planters. Ferns, herbs, and flowers spill gently from their bamboo cradles, swaying as the wind passes through. It's more than a fence, it's a living wall, a boundary that feels alive and welcoming at the same time. This kind of project blends nature and craft beautifully. Bamboo, strong yet gentle, serves as the perfect frame. You can cut small sections horizontally and tie them across the poles to create natural planter pockets. Fill them with herbs like basil or mint, or with trailing plants that soften the structure with every leaf. A bit of soil, a touch of water, and soon your fence becomes a garden in itself. Not just decoration, but nourishment for the senses. What makes this design special is its rhythm. The vertical poles bring calm order, while the growing plants add movement and surprise. It works even in small yards or narrow patios, where every inch matters. The fence not only marks space but gives something back, shade, texture, fragrance, life. And when sunlight filters through those bamboo gaps, turning everything gold for a moment, you'll see why this idea matters. It's not just about saving space or recycling materials. It's about creating harmony, where structure meets softness, and every boundary still allows something beautiful to grow. When the evening light begins to fade and the air turns soft with laughter, even the smallest backyard can become the heart of a celebration. In this cozy space, an old metal drum stands proudly, reborn as a compact barbecue table that brings people together. Smoke curls gently into the sky, carrying the smell of grilled vegetables and spices. Around it, friends gather, plates in hand, their conversations glowing like the lights strung overhead. There's a quiet brilliance in this design, how something once industrial now holds warmth and memory. Turning a drum into a barbecue table is easier than it looks. Clean it thoroughly, cut the top carefully, and fit a metal grill or grate inside. Add a wooden side panel to place your utensils or sauces, and you've created not just a cooking station, but a centerpiece for joy. It's practical, affordable, and perfect for those with tiny patios or backyards who still crave that weekend barbecue magic. You can paint the drum any color that fits your mood: rustic brown, matte black, or cheerful red. Decorate it with a few handmade touches, maybe a bamboo stool beside it, or a row of herbs planted nearby to season your meals fresh from the garden. The goal isn't perfection, it's togetherness. When you light the first charcoal and hear the soft crackle of flame, it's not just food you're making, it's a moment. A small, beautiful reminder that happiness doesn't need a big space, only a little creativity, a bit of warmth, and people to share it with. When the wind drifts softly through a garden, it carries a song, delicate, fleeting, and filled with memory. Hanging quietly beneath a branch or along a bamboo beam, a handful of painted sardine cans sway gently, catching the breeze and the light. Each movement creates a whispering melody, the soft metallic rhythm of recycled beauty brought to life. It's simple, it's soothing, and it turns silence into art. You can make one of your own with little more than imagination. Clean a few sardine cans, paint them in soft tones or bright patterns that reflect your spirit. Drill small holes, thread them with string or fishing line, and hang bits of shells, beads, or even small metal pieces underneath. Each addition changes the sound, a personal harmony shaped by your hands. Hang them near flowers, by a fence, or on a porch where the wind can visit often. What makes these wind chimes special isn't just the sound they make, but what they remind us of: that beauty doesn't have to be perfect or expensive. It can come from what's already around us, waiting to be transformed. The clinking of metal, the shimmer of light, the dance of air and sound, all these small things create an atmosphere of peace, the kind that feels like a gentle conversation between nature and craft. And as you stand there, listening to your handmade wind chimes sing with the breeze, you might find yourself smiling, realizing that sometimes the most beautiful music comes from what we once thought was nothing at all.